Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted DM Brian, returning once again as a fellow hard slinger as Koosh runs us through the PC wood chipper known as the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. But before we begin this episode, I just want to go over a little piece of trivia. You know, whenever I upload a new episode to the website, the first thing I do is I go on Google and I type in our name and I make sure that the new episode is actually populated so that when I copy the RSS feed, that it can be disseminated between all the other podcast apps that people listen to us on. And one of the things it always surprises me is where we can be found when I Google our name. Obviously, we can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Sticher, Spotify, iHeart Radio, and the Player FM, which picked us up almost right away, I think before everybody else. I don't know, it's just some kind of podcast app that you could find online. But some of the other podcast apps that I never even heard of had started to pick us up. So I got a little list here. I'm going to read it off as I put my glasses on my face. We can also be found on Listen Notes, Podchaser, Hubhopper, that's not Hub Porn, but Hubhopper, Chartable, whatever that is, Podbay, Pod Paradise, now that's something that I want to listen to us on, Castbox, and of course we can also be found on YouTube. All that to be said is that we are out there, and if you're listening to the show on whatever podcast app you happen to be listening to us on, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. It really goes a long way. I know that we've got some good listeners out there because we are actually starting to rise up on the search engine optimizer or organizer. I forget what SEO, what the O stands for in that back little portion right there. But that is, we can be found out there. So please let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you found the show. And I think that's about it, right? Nope, not quite. Warm up your dice and top off your glass as Roll the Hard 20 podcast presents The Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, Session 8, which I was going to name Pieces of 8, but you know, you get the idea.
I can record.
I think as long as it's being recorded, anyone can record it.
Can we double record?
No.
No.
As soon as the recording started, it changed the button for me to take a snapshot.
Oh, really?
Or probably that button was already there.
But I think that like if I record, you each get a copy of the recording though, right?
Yeah.
So the copy of the recording just goes into the group chat, and anyone can play it or download it from there.
Whatever. Anyways, I was telling Koosh about how everyone digressed through those other towns like Tamravina and Kortaud and stuff like that on your way up to Lepidstad, and because you rolled so shitty, Junior, you were...
Yeah, I know, fuck.
All the stuff.
What happens when you got a druid leading the party?
Well, we ready to lead into this thing? Koosh, you all geared up, all studied up?
I think I have all the notes.
We gave you an extra couple of days to prep for this thing, so...
Was it an extra couple of days, or were you 2 days late?
I already assumed that you'd be 20 minutes late in recording, so I decided, well, we'll just extrapolate that to 2 days instead.
I feel like I have a freebie. I'm on my 20 minutes late now.
Every time you show up into the rage room, you're late, so gotta pull that back.
That's true. You're always there on time for sure.
I'm always there, yeah. You know what's even funny is Nick is there on time too, even when he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
He's just prepping. He's totally prepping.
Nick has been like a week in advance early, so that lets him be pretty late if he ever wants.
That's right.
Every day except when I just show up at Brian's house and just wait.
He gets a pass.
Just in case we have one.
I like that. He's just hanging out on the street. Hey, what's up, man? We gonna roll tonight? No, not tonight. Come home the next day, he's still there. What about tonight?
We down for tonight?
So what's everyone drinking? What are we powering through?
I couldn't
Rum and
find
Coke.
anything.
Rum and
in a
Coke.
Quick hurry. So I'm drinking a michelada. What is it?
Mango lime.
Mango and chili.
What are you drinking, Koosh? Little O2?
Water for now.
Oh, H2O.
Yeah, H2O.
Little water boy here. Little Bobby Boucher.
I gotta watch that fucking movie, man.
You've never seen Waterboy?
It's been on my list of things to watch for decades at this point.
That was such a stupid movie.
Well, you don't really like Adam Sandler.
No, I really don't. I can't remember the last movie I saw with him. Oh, you know what? I take that back. There was one movie I watched on Netflix with him and Jennifer Aniston, where he was like a cop that wound up.
Just go with it.
Is that the one where he's in England and they try to solve that murder?
Oh no, you're talking. I know which one you're talking about. Just recently, like within
The
like
last
a
year.
year. Yeah. No, that was on Netflix, but I know what you're talking about. I saw that one too.
That was
Because
actually a
the one-
fun movie.
It was pretty good. It was like a mystery movie. He was,
Yeah,
a,
he was-
like a cop, right, or something like that, a
Yeah, he was a
detective.
cop. Yeah.
The one before that was he was a dentist or something. And
dentist?
Jennifer Anderson was the assistant. And then he was hooking up with chicks with like a wedding band, and then he ended up saying that was his like ex-wife or something, and he was using her kids as his kids.
Isn't that
I think it
Big
was
Daddy?
called Go With It. No, that's not Big Daddy. Big Daddy, the kid was dropped off on the doorstep. That was the kid with the I wipe my own ass.
Yeah.
I feel like we should just change this podcast to an Adam Sandler movie podcast.
I'll delete
Yeah.
delete the feed immediately.
Are
Are you ready to lead us in?
Crazy Nights.
Koosh, you want to lead us
Go
in?
ahead. Oh, I'm going to lead us in. All right.
Why not, man? You've been running this shit, Dig.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Roll the Hard 20 podcast, the Skype edition. We're going to be jumping back into the ghosts of Saltmarsh with Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. And we've got everyone else here. We've got
Session 8, man. Session
we've got
8.
Yup.
What?
Session 8.
Pieces of 8. I don't remember anything from this show.
Title. Pieces of 8. Done.
All right, perfect. That's the title of the episode already. All right, I'm going to just jump right in, lead us into the recap, and then we can get started with playing. So, last session, our adventurers learned that Oceanus had met Galen briefly in person before being imprisoned. However, while listening to this physical description of Galen and freeing Oceanus, the party did pretty poorly on their perception, and the bosun was able to return into his room, only noticed by his annoying pet parrot, with Brian's favorite catchphrase, pieces of 8.
Here I am.
After a brief chat with the bosun and a failed bluff, a fight broke out. The party was able to quickly handle the pirates, saving one to interrogate. He was not much of a team player, but they were able to get the information they needed. While moving on to the first mate's quarters, Ellis fumbled with his lockpicking kit and lost one piece down the boards, between the boards, and he believes that they could be down in the village at this point. Once finally in the room, the party discovered 3 things. The first is that the pirates have significantly less money than was promised to Sam Belay. Second, that there are 3 lizard folk that have recently been added to the crew. And finally, Alanon discovered his ability Divine Sense and was able to trace the ping that he felt when he first entered the boat. Now the party stands in front of a secret door that Dorian has found, and he has peeked his head through it. So this is exactly where we stopped. So Dorian, when you peek your head through into this secret door, and you only see shades of gray with your dark vision. And what you see are 3 chests filled with some kind of currency. You can't quite tell because you can't see the colors exactly. And a 4th chest with a emblem of a skull on it, and wrapped around the skull is a snake that comes through the left eye. And I'm going to go ahead and send you guys the image of this. And it is, you guys have it in Discord now. And that's what you see when you look through there.
Okay. Okay, so I relay that to the rest of the party members. Where's he going?
I don't know.
To get his glasses, probably.
He changed his headphones.
No, I needed to get my phone.
Oh, I thought you meant your glasses.
Oh, yeah. I got it. Okay. Oh, I saw this. Okay, got it.
Okay, so I relay that to the other party members. I see the 4 chests. I see the chest that's still locked with the skull and the snake. I turn to Ellis and say, Ellis, would you be able to open this chest inside of here? I'm not sure if you can actually see it or not. Do we have torches?
Yes, I got a torch right here.
You can light a torch. Actually, sorry, to give you some more description, the final chest is actually fairly wide. It's about 4 feet wide, and it's only maybe like 2 feet in the other direction. So it's actually pretty oddly shaped.
Okay.
In addition to it, there's a little note on top of that chest.
I grab that bird in the other room, and I light its head on fire as a torch.
All right, that lasts for about 5 seconds, and you're able to see briefly.
It is more of a match there, Ellis.
It's sort of a match.
I figured his beak might be phosphorus or something like that.
As I wave it
Explodes
around,
in
it
your hand.
goes out. I light up another torch. I'm looking around.
I think I might be able to pick this lock for us.
Now, I still have disadvantage at that, right?
You give -2, so it's not as bad as disadvantage, but it's not great.
We're doing Dex plus proficiency.
Dex plus proficiency, yes.
10.
Did you already subtract 2?
That was with a subtraction of 2.
All right. You're able to almost get it there, but you haven't quite picked it yet.
Get the light closer to me. I can't see it well enough.
Who's holding the light?
I am.
What is everyone else doing, by the way?
I'm going to be checking some of the other chests, see if I can detect what kind of currency is in those chests.
Yeah, as soon as you have light, you can tell that one chest has gold, the other one has silver, the other one has copper.
Okay.
So it's obviously there's significantly less as you go up in denomination, but you can tell that they've been basically fairly organized. And then Aladon?
Is the chest with the skull mark on it, is that one locked as well?
That's the one that is locked. The other 2 are not locked. And your divine sense is still up. That's where you feel the consecration coming from that chest. And sorry, Brian, you were saying something.
What does the note on the top of the chest say?
Yeah, so you can you open up the note, and it reads, "To the scourge of the 7 seas, the stony gaze, the terrible storm, inside is a gift for you. It costs a pretty coin, but Sambalay will have to accept what is left of the coin we promised, or make peace at the bottom of the sea. Signed, Sigurd Snake Eyes."
Ah, that's Snake Eyes. That's his emblem, huh?
Well, I don't like this, but let's try to pick that lock one more time, perhaps.
Go for it.
I encourage him in the background.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
great.
you, Aladon.
There's no mechanical benefit for
I
that.
believe I heard something click with a 17.
17, you in fact do hear it click. I assume you open it at that point. As you
Sure.
open it,
Carefully.
carefully, as you open it up, I just noticed this is like the first thing you didn't like check to see if it was trapped.
No, I
I
a
should
little
have done
rusty.
it. I should have done it. Inside, you see a broken, rusted longsword. It's been broken in half, and I'm sending another image to you guys. And so it is the hilt of the sword. It goes up a bit more than halfway through, where it is snapped off, and most of the blade looks to be rusted. I assume everyone else is looking at this sword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alanon, you don't even need to roll. When you see this, you immediately recognize it as one of the lost artifacts from your order of Ultus. This looks to be half of the broken longsword of a famous paladin from your order, who was named Roland.
Roland?
Roland.
Yes. What
Roland.
would you say?
Henry Rollins?
Ah, I know what this thing is. This shield belonged to one of my clan members.
This is a sword.
Thank you, Ellis, for the obvious. But whose sword is it? Do you know?
This is a piece of shit. It's rusted, it's broken. What good could this possibly be? Look, I can shatter it across the...
You're a piece of shit. How dare you disrespect
Over initiative!
This belonged to a great member of ours named Roland.
You look at a piece of paper.
I did. Hold on.
A name Roland.
Just look at the blade. It has his name engraved in it.
It does in fact have the name engraved.
It says Roland H. There must have been two.
No, I'm not sure if he's dead. But more than likely, he's probably dead. He's a legend. Do I know if he's dead or not?
He is dead.
I would imagine.
He lived a long time ago. He died to probably natural causes.
Sure he did. Yeah, blood poisoning.
Excessive leaching.
Tetanus.
Does it look like there's some kind of like a impression in that case where the sword would be laying? Like a detent?
Yeah.
See if like there was a reserve for the remainder of the blade. You know what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying. No, there was sort of an indent for the blade. It's the blade that you found, but the remaining pieces of it you don't see in there.
Okay.
That's the only remains of it.
You can make an insight check.
All right.
Both of you can. And then obviously Dorian can too. You just haven't said anything about it, so.
Yeah, I'll back him up on it.
15.
15?
9.
12.
9? 12? Okay, so only Ellis would believe this. Ellis, you think that the other half of the sword may already belong to Gellin. So you think maybe this is like the last piece of something that was missing, and he's already gotten the first collector's piece of it.
Now, would I remember any case on the beach that may have possibly been of that size, maybe, or was... Because I remember we were around a lot of crates and stuff. Would I have a recollection of anything of that size, possibly?
No, this is unusual because the other crates that you saw were like more cube shaped, and they generally had the smuggler's goods in them. So this is different, and it's also obviously clearly been labeled for Gillen by the letter and some other things that were on the chest.
Well, look, it's obviously this is going to be going towards Galen at some point. But I gotta say, I remember seeing this emblem before back at the bar when I was first hired. The barkeep had mentioned this symbol before, and he said that the way to communicate and know that you were one of Galen's
Sorry, what was the other guy's name?
Snake Eyes.
No, the main other bad dude.
No, it was Galen Primewater.
That's okay. That's what.
Oh.
I think that I remember that Galen's henchman said that the only way to know that you worked for him was to point 2 fingers to your left eye. That was the symbol.
Okay.
With your right hand or your left hand?
Assuming left hand.
Well, if you're looking in the mirror, it looks like it's your right hand, but it's really your left hand going into your left eye.
Because I think
But you use 2 fingers, so it looks like a sideways V. So if you think of this is greater than this is less than. So your left eye is greater than what's nothing to the left side of your right side of your face in the mirror.
so. Human eyes are greater than snake eyes, or less than snake eyes.
I don't know. I have to roll about that.
All right, guys, we're not playing
Yes.
Animal Farm.
Real quick, can Alanon make a history check to see if there was any other things that he knew about the sword, if it had any like special properties of some kind, or
Yeah, go ahead. You can roll history or religion, whichever you think is better for you.
history? That is a 9. I'm double 9s. I'm getting rid of all these dice.
The same dice from the other night.
No, I've been switching. I was using the one that was actually rolling better for me.
Okay, so what you would know is that it is a powerful magical sword, but that's all you'd know. If you'd known better, you'd kind of know the deeds that he accomplished with the sword and what it could do. But that's all you know at this point.
Alanon, you say this is from your people,
Yes,
from your order, and you should wield it, my friend.
I intend to. And as he does that, he wants to pick it up and take it himself. Give it to me. Disrespect.
When you pick it up, it feels right in your hand. Assuming you, regardless of which hand you use, right or left. But
Poke
So
yourself in the
something-
left eye with it.
so I will give you 3 pieces of information. The sword will function because it is broken currently as a short sword, but it will be. The second piece of information is that it is a +1 sword, so it's +1 to damage and to hit. And the third piece of information is you believe that there will be some interaction with another paladin ability you have.
Okay.
So if it's a half sword, it's like plus 0.5.
Just the +1.
I thought it was less. I'm leaving.
All right, perfect.
So because it's a short sword, that means it's a D6 hit dice instead of a D8.
Notes on my first level character, and I need to find them. There we go. Sorry, I was looking at this stuff and I couldn't find what I was looking at. There.
All right. What else do you want to do? There are 3 chests still in here. They're probably closer to the light at this point because you wanted to inspect them. Oceanus is still at the door trying to survey through, making sure no one comes in. Again, he looks a little edgy and jumpy, but what else would you expect from him?
Let's see. Other than chest, that's all we really see out of this room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should we try to take some of this loot, or are we just going to leave it here?
Well, I don't think that it'd be advisable to have us weighted down by this stuff.
Just enough to fit our pockets.
I agree.
You know, just skim some off the top.
Well,
I want to close the lid on that one chest and relock it.
Okay, perfect. Are you trying to put it back into place? Or
Yeah, the exact same way that it was before.
Okay. So you
well,
you can do that easily since you were able to unlock it. You didn't use any brute force or anything, so you unlock it, you relock it, I should say, and you place it back where it was.
Okay.
Sorry, and then you were saying something, Junior.
oh, and I said put the note back on as well.
Okay, yeah, you just replace the note back on. You pat it a little bit and then make your peace with what was there.
I think that we might need to get topside pretty soon. They're probably going to be looking for us pretty soon. Not to mention their dead friends over there next door.
Yeah.
But I suggest that because it is raining and visibility is low, perhaps we should don their uniforms.
Yes. I think you should take that coat, though.
Yes.
You look good.
Okay, you look very good in that. You look very executive.
Okay, so at this point, you have all the evidence you need to know that Sambalay was going to be double-crossed. You have your speaking stone. You have, well, okay, you are actually missing one piece of your lockpicking kit, which is in the bilge, and you guys have a number of uniforms. One being an officer's uniform. The officer of which is still alive, I should note.
Next door, right?
Huh? Sorry?
He's next. He's on the floor, right?
Yeah, but you've taken the first mate's coat.
Oh, and he's still topside, right?
Yes.
Well,
All right, did we get a coat for Oceanus?
but then we're gonna let him jump back in the water.
He's in his rags right now.
Well, there was 3 or 4 guys that came in the room.
There were, I think, a total of 4. So the
got
bosun
plenty of-
came in, and then he called in a few guys.
Okay.
All right, so Al-Anon will go and strip down one of the other guys that seemed that would fit Oceanus's size and build, and hand it to Dorian and be like, tell him to put this on.
All right. So you're able to get something that's close enough. It's still a little bit loose because Oceanus is very slender, but especially since he hasn't been eating much recently. But yeah, you're able to
Meat
give,
and flesh.
you're able to give him a little bit to wear to not necessarily fit in all that much, but hopefully you're hoping with the low visibility he won't stand out too bad.
Go straight for the crotch. It's the jewels. It's the best.
And then what else are you guys doing?
Heading up topside.
Okay.
Actually, before we go topside, why don't we go towards the bow? Because we went towards the aft of the ship. That's where the 2 doors were at. Was there anything to the bow?
Yeah, there looks to be another room over there.
Oh, shit. All right. let's
Yeah, we should check
head
that out.
over there.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's put our ear against the door. See if we can hear anything.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check.
It's a hard 20.
Oh, nice.
So when you put your ear against the door, you hear people talking still, which is surprising because people had already come through and attacked you guys. So that means a few people have stayed inside to either chat or they didn't care. But you also notice that their voices don't sound very human.
Oh.
Al-Anon. These
Yes.
voices sound very gruff. Can you recognize the tone, the tenor?
Tenor. All right. I'm going to take a listen in. Perception as well.
Yep.
That is a 10.
It just
One
sounds
more than 9. I know.
They sound. I mean,
Shit.
you know, it's still really muffled to you. You press your dragonborn ear as far as you can onto the door, but it just sounds regular muffled speech to you.
Dorian, have
Yeah.
you ever heard voices like this? Can you ascertain how many are on the other side?
Let me take a listen. So I put my ear to the door. Nat 1.
Oh, no.
You're convinced it's one person talking to himself.
He's got his
How
head
many
against
people
my
inside
chest.
here?
It's all right. Well, with the 20, can I tell how many voices?
With a 20, your best guess is anywhere between 2 to 4.
There's definitely at least 2 people, unless he's schizophrenic. What? No. Yes. What? No. More than 2.
What's
to find out.
what's Oceanus doing at this time?
He's given you like a 10-foot lead. He's back from the door. He's not. He's like standing on top of the grate that you can see through down to the bilge.
Hey,
Sweet.
Okay.
Michelle.
I'll turn to Oceanus real quick and just ask him, like, do you happen to know who's in this room at all?
No, it could be anyone. It could be the crew. I don't know. I've been locked in a room for over a week.
Have you seen any other non-humans on this ship?
No, not in my
yourself.
Other than myself, no.
Okay.
Well, he's about as useless as they come. Do you see my pick down there?
So Oceanus.
Yeah, when you relay that information, he looks down. Let me roll this. I see it, and then he'll relay through Dorian. I saw a glint of some metal down there, but that's the best I can tell.
What do you say? Should we open this door? Maybe
Guns ablazing.
not exactly. Perhaps the first mate here could knock on the door. Unless, of course, they know who the first mate is. Or
Chances are probably, but what the hell?
what about if two of the crew, Alanon and myself, were to move the prisoner to this room? Eh?
I'd also like to note the person wearing the first mate's clothing is an elf.
Yeah.
We'll have to remove those ears.
Tuck him back. Give him his beanie.
No.
How dare
Okay,
you.
so what's the plan here?
I say we knock on the door and say we have a prisoner problem. Just see who's on the other side.
That's perfect. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. You can roll with advantage because I think
Are you good with that?
that's a good
Yeah.
lie.
Persuasion, 16. I got
Can
a
you roll with
negative.
advantage?
Yes, that was advantage.
Okay. Okay, when you say that, the talking stops. We're in the middle of the conversation. You hear them again talk to each other briefly in a language that doesn't seem to be common. And then you hear two footsteps come to the door. And is anyone doing? You guys can all hear the footsteps coming to the door. Are you guys doing anything to like prepare for this, or you guys are just hoping to strike up a conversation at first?
I want to say that we have Oceanus in front of us, so we're kind of like a triangle, hiding the elf behind us, so he can't be ascertained.
Detected. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've already got like my hands on my swords, but with Oceanus kind of blocking what I'm doing. So
Okay.
as soon as they open the door, I think that I want to make a judgment call whether or not to attack right then and there,
Okay, perfect.
like a surprise attack. You
So-
good with that?
Yeah. So the door swings open. It swings open away from you, and as it opens up, you see, kind of towering above you, definitely Ellis, but even almost like eye level with Alanon, who I believe was pretty tall, are two green lizard folk that seem to have their left eyes removed, and they stare directly at Oceanus, and the one closest to you pipes up and says, "How did he get out of his cell?"
I believe that one of those crew members back there, he was fucking around behind the door. The door was left open, and this stupid idiot was already walking out when we came upon him.
Why would they leave a door like that open?
I don't know.
And I put my two fingers to my left eye.
Okay, give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a -1 though. 18.
Still a lot better than 9.
Okay, so when you do that, he says, he returns the gesture, and then says, "Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Could you return him to his room? We will tell Galen of what you've done."
Yes, but there's something interesting I think you would want to see. There's something weird in this one room, and I'm a little concerned.
Okay, so when you say that, they'll both look at each other.
want to try to
and
separate.
they'll look at the one in the back. And
So
then
there's
they'll
three?
nod. Yeah.
Oh,
So
there's
when you follow their heads after this, you'll notice the third one in the back.
okay.
There were only two that came up to the door. And they all nod. And so, sorry, you were saying something as well.
Who are you
Right.
pointing at?
Right.
Me?
Yeah, the one that was saying something.
Oh,
Well, you're looking at a particular direction on the Skype, and I'm not sure who you're looking at.
who's
I thought you were the
where?
only one saying something. So, okay,
I was like,
it's fine.
ooh,
Yeah.
I think I fucked up. I didn't know there was three people.
As
So I guess-
they look inside the room, can
Yes.
actually Alanon make a perception check to see what else is inside the room?
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead, give me a perception check.
Dude, I am not rolling that fucking great. That is an 8.
8.
I
So
need new dice.
you don't see anything beyond the basics. So you see a number of cots for the regular crew members to sleep on, and you see a long table to eat on. That's it. That's all you
So
really
like
notice. You
sleeping
see that
quarters.
the third lizard folk that's sitting there, also with that left eye removed, he's just sitting at the long table right now. He's maybe got some cards in front of him. That's it.
Well, let's go take a look at it.
Yeah, they nod and they gesture for you to lead the way.
Are they all coming?
They are all coming. The third one comes up, and then they start falling behind you.
All right.
Know where it is, Alanon.
All right, I'll start leading them into the room with the parrot.
Okay, perfect. So are you leading them in by going into the room, or are you kind of at the door gesturing them to try and go in?
I think I want to lead them into the room, and then
Okay, so you're.
And I
By
wanna
the way, you
stay
did not
in the-
clean up any of the bodies in here.
No, that's
No.
what
That's exactly what you
we're-
want to show? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and that the back door that he came out is open, but I want to stay at the entrance to that room.
that's what I was thinking too.
We're gonna get these fuckers. I'm gonna hit this dude hard from behind.
Okay. Because you rolled well, Brian, you can do that no problem. The other two are going to need to give persuasion checks to be to let that happen as well.
Okay.
Oh, the way I've
That's
been
for a
rolling.
fresh one.
Ugh, shit.
All right.
Got a 5.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually not bad. That is a 13.
Okay. So, Alanon, they let you stay at the door. Dorian, they want you to still lead the way. So you are.
Wait,
So the way
Alanon
the
was
room.
leading the way.
Ooh, sorry.
Alanon was leading the way.
He was initially, but
They went Dorian.
he wanted to stay by the door. They let him do that. You stay by the door. They were fine with that. Dorian, the elf in the first mate's uniform, they continue to have him lead the way. So the positioning of the room is as such. The on either side of the door are Alanon and Ellis. Dorian is on the far wall, and so is Oceanus, who's basically next to the entrance of where that secret room he was hidden in is. And in the middle of the room are 3 lizard folk.
Now, Oceanus has this crossbow, right? He still has that.
He does still have his crossbow.
Hid-
The room is, at this point, it's packed. You guys are basically not going to be able to move from where you are.
Great.
Because it's it's a 15 by 15, right? So the lizard folk basically have made a wall.
It's this office right here.
Yeah, it's basically that office. The lizard folk are 3 people. They've made basically a wall in which they would have to allow you to get past them. because they've built a line of a 5-foot line.
But they're not abreast. Though.
Sorry, 15-foot line.
They gotta be like 2 and 1 or 1 and 2 or whatever, right? They can't be side all shoulder to shoulder, right? Because according to the schematic, there's a bunk and then there's a table on either side.
Yeah, they are offset a bit, but
okay. But there's one guy that's at the very back, right? At least.
Correct.
That's the fucker.
All right. So you go ahead, roll for the attack, and then tell me what you get, and then we're going to roll initiative right after that.
The lowest, well, I got a 20 and 11.
So the 20 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage, and then everyone roll initiative.
All right. See if I can get at least a better score than
8 points.
8 points. All right. So I assume you're just like stabbing into this lizard folk's back.
Yeah, I just fuck you. 7 for my initiative.
Okay.
Got 5.
6 for Al-Anon.
Nice.
I know. I am rolling shit. I gotta find a good fucking dice.
Yeah, I'm
Here.
Bad news. I rolled. You guys are actually all in order. So who got a 7? It was Ellis.
Yes.
Ellis got a 7. Al-Anon got a 6. Dorian got a 5, and Oceanus got a 4.
What are the odds of that?
Unfortunately, the lizard folk got a 16.
And they all go on the same initiative.
They do all go on the same initiative.
Well, let me see. Okay. I can probably take this for about 2 rounds.
And, sorry. Oh, sorry, I wrote your names in the wrong order. Let me fix that before I fuck it up. All right, so you stab into the far back lizard folk. He lets out a wail, and as soon as he does, the other two know what is happening. They turn and they attack immediately. So
I'm pointing at him. He did it.
the two that are next to the elves are going to attack them, each one respectively. And the one that you stabbed is going to attack you, Ellis. All right. So Dorian does a... Oh, shoot. They have multi-attack. So this is just the first round of attacks.
Oh, God.
Dorian does a 17 hit.
We were wondering when this thing was going to end. So.
Sorry,
He almost lost it.
So Dorian 17 to hit. Ellis, that is an 8 to hit. And Oceanus has a 10. So Oceanus is... they miss Oceanus. I assume they miss Ellis.
Yes.
I assume Dorian is hit.
Yeah.
All right. Dorian, you take 6 points of damage.
Whew. God damn.
And then there's the second round of attacks. Oh, fuck. Dorian does 14 hit.
Yep.
Okay, that's going to hit. Ellis does a natural 20 hit.
No.
And then Oceanus does get hit as well. All right. So, first is Dorian. Dorian, you take another 4 points of damage.
Okay, I'm down.
That's it? 10? Yeah. All right, perfect. We'll get to that. Ellis, I rolled really shitty on the critical. You take 6 points of damage. And Al-Anon takes 6 points. Not Al-Anon, sorry. Oceanus takes 6 points of damage. Ellis, it is your turn.
Well, I guess the jig is up, eh?
14.
14 will hit.
What about 11? Probably will not,
Nope.
right?
That will not hit.
Okay.
You will have sneak attack on this, actually. I think Al-Anon is close enough.
Okay. 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. And let me double check. The first one was an 8, right?
I thought it was 7.
Your first hit was only 7 damage.
Honestly, I don't remember. I'd have to do playback.
That's fine. I'm gonna rule in your favor. I'm just gonna say it's an 8.
Honestly, I can't remember. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's 1 point of damage. It's no big deal. All right.
When you have 2 points left, it's a big deal. Ask Dorian if 1 point is a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Let me correct that. For the lizard folk, it's no big deal. Alanon, you just saw shit go sideways immediately. Ellis turned turned on the lizard folk. He got in 2 good swings, but all the lizard folk attacked twice and took down Dorian just immediately. What do you do?
There's no room to get to him right now. I'm going to attack. I'm going to actually use the short sword that I got, and I'm going to strike the lizard that took Dorian down. So attacking.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, that is.
You're gonna attack Jesus?
No, not attacking Jesus. They already done enough damage to him.
Oh my God!
Not the lizard.
Bird in hell.
I mean, it's factually correct.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
You got
I'm
a
gonna
shit
miss
deal.
with. Sorry, trying to think. Sorry. It is a 4 to hit, which is gonna miss. I know.
What were you doing the math for, man?
Because I was looking at what I wrote down, and then I was like, "Oh, what do I have to hit?" And I was like, "It's probably a plus
That
5."
can't be correct at all, man. You should have at least a +5 to hit. What the fuck did you roll? A -1?
Oh no, then it's a 6.
Oh, okay, who cares?
Sorry,
Wait, so you rolled a nat 1, is what you're
I
telling me?
rolled that one.
What are you doing the math for? That always misses. How long have you been playing D&D?
Oh, I was thinking about my Jesus thing. I felt bad.
Wait, tonight?
No, I meant.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh my
Dorian,
God.
Dorian, you don't see anything. Everything's gone black for you immediately. Go ahead and roll your test save.
All right. 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, you pass. Like the other times in which you've had to go through these test saves, you.
How many fucking times is this now?
This is the 3rd one. Actually, that's relevant. While you're down, you're sort of clinging to life. You're trying to find that light at the end of the tunnel. Again, you hear that voice that has come to you the last 2 times, and he says, "I stand corrected. You aren't trying to embarrass me. It seems you're trying to insult me, saying I haven't given you enough
Hit
power."
points?
But that's it for your turn. Oceanus has to go, and he's shooting a fucking crossbow at point blank range.
He could take a 5-foot step into the room that he
He
was
could.
held captive in, right?
But it's okay. He actually rolled fine. He rolled enough to hit. And he does. He does 4 points of damage to the lizard folk right in front of him. And we
We're
are
gonna die.
Probably.
We're back at the top. Oh god. All right. Oh, okay. I got great news.
You're all
So,
dead.
does 10
Kill
hit anyone's
himself?
AC? Does 9 hit anyone's AC?
No.
Does
I don't know.
does
Dorian
a 5
does
hit
it.
anyone's AC?
It wouldn't be if I was still standing up.
That's true. All right, I'm going to change something up for the next attack.
Coup de grace.
For the next
Yeah.
attack, one is going to attack Dorian out of frustration. So again, one is attacking Alanon, and then the other one's attacking Oceanus, and then one is attacking Dorian. So let's start with Alanon and Oceanus. They hit Oceanus. Does 14 hit Alanon?
No.
Okay. Oceanus takes another 6 points of damage.
Oh.
Oceanus was looking really fucked up before, and now he looks even worse. Dorian, you're going to be struck at. You're prone, so they have advantage. I got a 14 on the die. I don't need to roll damage. You have one failed death save.
Okay.
So you're at 1 and 1. Ellis. Shit is looking even worse than before.
Sorry. I'm rolling out of the tray this time. What is that? 19 and 13.
19 hits.
For 6 points damage plus 2, 8 points of damage.
All right. I feel like you guys could use this. Brian, finish off this first lizard folk.
As he and I are standing face to face trading blows, I eventually get inside his guard, right in his soft underbelly, right where I notice where some of the scales have started to molt off of him. And I rise up one of my blades right under his rib cage, piercing the aorta, watching his light dim in his eyes. His one eye.
His one eye. He slips onto your blade, and you have to like kick him off onto the floor as you withdraw your blade. Alanon, you've seen the tide begin to turn. What are you gonna do? The other two lizard folk don't look fucked up at all. The other guy, one of them has like a little mark on his shoulder from where a crossbow bolt like nicked him, basically. But that's it.
Remember, together they have two eyes.
Exactly. They could see.
Two eyes better than one, man.
I mean, closest one next to me, attacking with the short sword again. That's gonna fucking do some damage. That is 24 to hit.
24 hits.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
And then you said it was a D6.
D6 plus 1.
D6 plus 1, that's 4. And so that's 6 points of damage with my...
you should be doing more than that, man.
Plus
You
your
should be
strength
getting,
modifier and shit. And your
You still get your strength, and you still get, I assume, your dueling style. So that's plus 3 from strength, plus 2 from dueling style. Then
I
plus
rolled a 3,
sword.
so it's 3 and 3. So it's 6. And then 6, 7, 8 for my plus... Oh, 7. 7 points of damage.
There you go.
That's the other one.
All right.
I was just adding my dueling.
All right, perfect. So, you strike into this lizard folk. The sword just feels right in your hand. It was really. You're still trying to get used to it in the first swing, but you've gotten the hang of it, and you get a clean cut into his right shoulder. Okay, Dorian, back to you. Let's get another death save.
All right, let's go.
At this point, you're kind of like in this black empty space, and you see like two red eyes and a toothy grin like staring at you. You assume that's where the voice came from initially. Sorry, what'd you get on your death save?
13.
13. Okay, you have another pass.
It's 2 and 1.
That's right.
And then you again hear the voice speak to you, and he says, "Maybe you're right. Perhaps there's more power I could give you. I'm not sure if you can handle it at this point, based on your previous record. But you would have to make an agreement and agree to give something to me."
Yes, I agree.
You just straight up agree? Okay.
Left
as soon as you agree, the eyes and the mouth fade, and then standing before you again for the second time is Asmodeus. He's got the red skin, the gnarly ram's horns on top of his head, that toothy grin, and he holds out his hand in forms of making a handshake for the deal.
All right. And I reach up, try to grab it as well.
All right, you grab it and you shake, and he does not let go of your hand, and he says, "Dorian, a war is coming between myself and Foltus. it will be my devils against his paladins. And I believe that taking one from his side is two for me. That one of them walks amongst your party. Within the year, I want him under my service. If you fail to do so, I will break you piece by piece. And then he fades. So the light comes back to your eyes. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for hit points. And then this is from everyone else's view. And you see Dorian start stepping back up, kind of like an unearthly, unnatural motion. And as he gets up, two black tendrils of burning fire shoot out and attack the two lizard folk. And they each take 6 points of damage.
Nice.
All right, it is Oceanus' turn. Let's see what Oceanus can do with his fucking crossbow and point blank range again. He'll step back this time. Actually, no, he won't. He's like too fucked up. He might die. He again still hits at his point blank range. He does again 4 measly points of damage to the lizard folk in front of him. It is the lizard folk's turn again. So they are going to attack. First, they're going to attack Ellis and Alanon for their first round. Those are 13s. Does 13 hit either of you?
No.
No.
All right. So they miss. But during this time is when they notice that Dorian has come back up. One of them is going to swing at Dorian. The other one's going to, the one that was attacking Alanon is going to continue to attack Alanon. Okay, Dorian, you don't have to worry. That's a 9. That's not going to hit your AC. 20 against your AC, Alanon.
20 against my AC will hit.
I didn't ask if that hits. I was just letting you know.
You just letting me know.
Alanon, you take.
It's a courtesy call.
Yeah, you take Alanon, you take 7 points of damage as you are struck by this lizard folk's club right on the side of the head. Ellis, it is your turn.
Now,
You just saw Dorian come back up, this weird unearthly tendril shoot out of him and then fade.
Now, would I be slightly shaken by this?
That's on you. However you think your character would react to something like this.
I want to roll to see if I would be. I am. I'm off kilter. Makes me fumble with one of my blades.
Okay.
And with the other one, I miss horribly.
Okay. Alanon, again, you saw the same thing, but there are still 2 lizard folk in front of you. What do you do?
A little taken back on what's just erupted from Dorian. I don't know whether it's lizards or what the hell's going on in here, but going to attack again with the short sword, and that is going to be 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
For 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay, so you bring your short sword, your newly found short sword down back where on that right shoulder where you struck before, and this time it almost like sears through the skin as you bring it all the way down to the heart, and this lizard folk expires and crumples off to its side. So there's one lizard folk left. Dorian, what do? You did not, anything that these guys saw that came from your, what was once a corpse, you do not notice. You just saw that this other lizard folk struck at you as you came back up.
Okay. Do I have like any recollection of like what just happened, like previously before I rose up?
You have a recollection of going down. You have the recollection of your conversation with Asmodeus and the deal that you made. That's about it.
Okay. So now that I'm up, I'm just going to cast an Eldritch Blast at the lizard folk in front of me. Does a 17 hit?
17 hits.
All right, sweet. 10. That is, what is that? 11 points of damage.
All right, Dorian, how do you kill this lizard folk with your newfound strength?
So I'm assuming this guy's like right in front of me, right?
Yes.
So like 5 feet in front of me, I do the Eldritch Blast, just basically right into his torso and just splits a hole like right into like his center cavity, and it's basically like a huge hole inside, and it just expires in front of me.
All right, awesome. Yeah, you drill a hole through this lizard folk, and the others can see like this pitch black fire like burned and seared the hole through the lizard folk. And that's it. We're out of initiative. The last lizard folk is down, and you're able to make your way through that scrap.
I look at Dorian. What the hell was that came out of your chest?
What are you talking about?
There were these 2 black finger projectile things that came from your body and attacked these lizard people. How do you explain that? You rose from the dead with this crap coming out of you.
I believe I made a deal with my deity, Asmodeus.
Well, I'm low on hit points. That deal extended friends.
It's my god, it's my deity.
Stab myself. I won't need to make a deal.
I wasn't in control when I risen, but whatever he did was help me out, and I must fulfill his promise.
And what was that promise, my friend?
You will come to know it soon.
Ooh.
I kind of look at Dorian. I'm like, I'm good, right?
You'll know soon too.
Man.
Well, I think we should go back into their room and at least see what they were doing in there. Possibly, I don't know. Let's first check these corpses, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't have to roll. When you look through the corpses, you just find kind of like everyday clothes, their weapons, which are mostly just clubs, and you do see, they have emblems that mark them as subjects or servants to Gelen, which is again that symbol with the skull and snake.
And they still have one eye. I'm gonna pop each of the one eyes on their corpses. The remaining eyes.
All right, you've disfigured these corpses more than they were already disfigured.
The eyes have it.
Ellis, are you starting another weird collection of yours?
No, I just wanted to make sure they don't haunt me in the afterlife. They can't see me, they can't find me.
Makes sense.
No weirder than that shit that came out of Dorian's chest.
So you're still confused as to what they're talking about, but...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's, I guess we'll go see what they've got in their room.
Okay, so you guys go into the what seems to be the crew's quarters. You see a number of chests with clothes. They have some pocket change in there. You can between amongst a lot of them, you can scrounge up maybe 15 gold pieces. There's playing cards on the table and scraps of food.
Shots fired over here. Someone let off a firework.
and a bucket of knockoff fireworks.
All right.
Is there nothing under their bunks?
That's where they kept their belongings, their chests with clothes and spare change, effectively.
Well,
No diaries, no nothing.
Nope.
Diaries. There's no personal effects or anything like that of use. God, I wish there would be something. I'm trying to think of what else could be in there. They're part of an organization. Other than the tattoos or markings, what else do you think would have been in?
Well, they're obviously part of this Galen Primwater thing with the one eye missing. They look just like the emblem on top of that crate, and just like the emblem I saw back at the bar where I was hired. But maybe they're not part of the crew here. The other guys had all their eyes, right?
I didn't get a very good glance at them, but I would assume so. I mean, they're the only humanoid creatures here. I mean, we weren't really expecting to find lizard folk.
Humans or the humanoids?
Humanoids.
So the lizard people with one eye, or the humans back there with two eyes?
Now you got me confused, Ellis.
That's fine. I think that these lizard people are with Galen Primwater. I think that the humans that run the ship are being rented out.
Could be a possibility.
Maybe.
We never did the sign with the humans. We did it with the lizard folk, and they seem to be fine with it.
Well, at least we know it works.
So what? Now we're gonna go to everyone.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Could have been extra muscle hired for him just to make sure that the artifact got
So
to
you
its
think
place.
the lizard people were extra muscle hired? That's one hell of a hire-on process. Give me your eye. These people are part of the core.
They're devoted. I agree, but I mean, they've got to be an inner circle. There's got to be a reason why they got sent out with them. They wouldn't just be sent out just for a simple trade, especially if they weren't planning to pay them off.
Well, I think you're right. I think that they are part of the inner circle. They weren't just mercenaries hired on. I think the ship itself is mercenary material.
Yeah. This would have been all nice to ask before we actually initiated combat with them.
Well, things got kind of hot and heavy when you died, so. And then they just got fucking weird.
Yeah. Plans didn't go as thought out. I honestly thought we were going to lock them in the room.
Oh, my bad.
That's what I thought too.
You didn't give me
I guess
the
they
signal.
forced me to go with them, so.
You nodded your head. You gave me the side.
What are you guys doing?
Just going back and forth trying to piece things together. So obviously we killed the real muscle that was on the ship. We know it's actually Snake Eye's ship that's running this cargo.
It is a kind of a quick reminder. Snake Eyes is why Sambalay felt a little bit dubious. Snake Eyes was planted as the new captain of the ship prior to the trade that they were going to have.
Okay. Well, we could use the speaking stone and tip him off, let him know that, one, they were planning to screw him over, two, that they brought their actual inner circle mercenaries to probably kill him off.
Well, if they had known that we were part of Sambalay, we were definitely on the chopping block as well. So it was just a matter of time before we encountered these fucks anyhow.
No? Better to get them down here versus the chaos up in the upper deck.
I totally agree. Well, do you want to go down to the bilge, or you want to go topside and see what's going on up there and see what Sambalay is coming up with?
Well, perception, how does everything sound up on the upper deck?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
I'd like to assist you in that.
Perception is... You guys are going to love this. Another 9.
18.
18.
Got a 20.
Oh,
I'm
Not
strong.
that 20, just a 20.
Dorian came back with some extra powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave him better dice rolls out. So Ellis and Dorian, you hear from up above. You hear merriment. People seem to be laughing, having a good time. And
is the ocean's rough or what?
the ocean. I mean, it's raining, so you hear it over the rain.
Okay.
And I also just rolled for Oceanus, and Oceanus got a pretty good roll. And when he hears this, he looks very concerned. And he'll turn to you, Dorian, and he'll say, "The last time I heard the crew this merry was the day before I was put into my cell. They had brought someone forth as a prisoner to Galen. Galen looked him over. He had said maybe not 2 words to him. Then I think he cast some sort of spell. The boots of that prisoner turned to stone, and then they threw him overboard."
Jeez. All right, so I turn to them and relay the information back to them. It seems like something's going on upstairs on the upper deck. Something where they're trying to do some crazy spells or something. I'm not really sure. So something's going on up there.
Were there any other prisoners on board right now besides yourself?
And then I asked it back to him.
Yes. Sorry, I thought you were talking to Dorian for whatever fucking reason.
I'm not a
vessel.
There was one before me. I think he stole something from the smugglers. They're smuggling items, and then they killed him. I got a little curious when I saw that, and I went down here to look through the barrels, and that's when they took me and put me into that holding cell. But I didn't see Galen that day.
Do you think it's possible they could be doing this Shambhala dance for Samboulet? Throw him over? What?
Are you guys talking to each other? Or are you guys talking to?
Yes, we're talking to each other.
I'm just making sure. There's a pause. I'm like, am I supposed to chime in here? Because I don't think this guy knows who Samboulet is.
Well, yeah, he doesn't know who Samboulet is. But what they've relayed is that every time they do this little chorus number, that somebody's feet get turned to stone and they chuck them over. And they're doing it right now, and there's no other prisoners on board. The only other person that we're not accounting for is Samboulet.
Mm. So if you're asking him, he's going to say...
No, I'm asking
okay.
my 2 cohorts whether or not they think that...
Perfect.
Is it possible that they've got Samboulet? I mean, we already know there was a double cross about to go down.
Let's see if we can contact him on the speaking stone.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Safe word.
Pineapple. You say pineapple and there's no reply.
What?
Samboulet, come in. Do you copy?
Okay, so you
Come
try
in,
a
Leo.
second
This is
time.
Raven. Johnny, come in over.
So you try a second time, and then you hear a reply saying, "Come on up."
Do we all hear that, or is it just him that hears
You
it?
all hear it from the speaking stone. It's not like very loud, but you guys are all congregated together. It's close enough that you would hear it.
I want to make a perception check to see if we think that's Samboulet.
Go for it. You can roll insight.
I'll aid him on it too.
19.
Yeah.
So it sounded like Junior said no. What did the other 2 people get?
14.
And then Brian, sorry, you guys keep talking over each other. Brian, what did you get?
19.
19. Brian, you could, I shouldn't say Brian. Ellis, you can tell that this is not Samboulet.
This is bullshit. Samboulet is dead. What we need to do, Oceanus, we need to get you topside and go see if you can find him in the water before he drowns. Is there any portholes that somebody could go out the side of this vessel right now? Like where we are down below?
Yeah.
All right.
It's chucking him out there.
Oceanus,
Give
oil
me
up
a
and get the
persuasion
fuck
check.
out.
Give me a
What's that?
persuasion check.
I'll give him a good little chat.
Persuasion?
Oh, fuck yeah.
19.
Now one actually has to tell him.
19.
Got a 15.
Okay. Let me roll something.
Is that
Yeah, he agrees.
cowardice check?
He agrees.
Dorian, tell him to go out the porthole. Go find Sambalay in the water.
All right.
All right. You tell him to go through the porthole. He dives through the porthole and ends up in the water. You see him swim off to the bow of the ship, and he disappears around that side. And it takes a couple moments, but he comes back. And he says, I've circled the ship, I've went under, and I haven't seen your friend Sambalay anywhere.
It doesn't make sense. But we know that wasn't him on the stove.
The only other person that was with him was the mage.
As you guys are discussing, you hear water splashing, and when you look back through the porthole, Oceanus is gone.
Like he left?
He's gone.
It's like, peace out.
Yeah, peaced out.
Well, I guess we couldn't expect him to stick around forever.
No.
He was hell on the DM.
That makes me play characters.
Yeah.
NPCs never last long.
Well,
All right. So, do we want to go up? I mean, figure out what the commotion is.
Close the porthole and go upstairs.
Sure. As a reminder, everyone has potions of healing, I think, that Sambalay gave you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You guys are welcome. All right, you guys chug your potions, and you said you guys go up, right?
After I chug.
Yeah.
So the three of you chug your potions. You make your way back to the stairs to go back up to the deck. And when you make your way to the deck, you are greeted to a number of the remaining deckhands, the captain, and the first mate. They are basically singing, dancing, a pirate's jig with flagons full of beer around the mast. And when you look up at the mast, before that, when you look towards the mast, behind it, you can see that wizard that Sambalay was speaking with. He has a stone in his hand. But then when you look up the mast, you see what remains of Sambalay. His eyes have been removed, his stomach has been cut open, and he's been gutted. His entrails are flowing out, and his corpse has basically been tied to the mast. They're singing and dancing around it. And we can go on next session.
we are so
Oh,
fucked.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
first
pretty
mate,
fucking
Dorian.
Now that you have special abilities.
God.
I will see.
We will see. The attack of my...
Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeart Radio. And if you like what you're hearing, please leave us that 5-star review. You could also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com. And be sure to check out the galleries. We got a lot of really interesting stuff posted there. And finally, join us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast. There are ways for you to help out the show and pick up swag. So until next session, keep your dice warm and your glass full as you roll those hard 20s.